So, wow, we've got quite the chapter here today because it is pretty brutal. The hunting game on God Valley is beginning, and Oda is not holding back here, and I like it. I mean, I don't like what the Celestial Dragons are doing, but I like that Oda is not holding back with it, even though it's probably not really going to lead to any comeuppance for them, but we'll get into that. I can't really talk too much about this stuff because we're still in the first minute of the video, and YouTube's really sensitive with that stuff, but we are seeing Blackbeard and his mom in the beginning of the chapter here because they are being advertised as like these big kills. They're worth a lot of points in the hunting game because they're a part of the Davy clan. It was revealed that Rox comes from the Davy D. Jones lineage. Davy Jones was like this legendary guy back in the Void Century. He is very likely to be the Blackbeard to JOYBOY. And based off of how much they are despised and hated by the Celestial Dragons, we can assume that they tried to take down Emu back in the day, right? That's like their whole thing. So now their whole lineage is cursed. I'm not sure how the Davy clan was able to survive on God Valley for 800 years here, but they were. I mean, it was a pretty isolated nation. And speaking of that, we're getting to see other members of the Davy clan here, such as Blackbeard's mother, who looks kind of like Robin, and some other unnamed characters who look very interesting, and we'll get into that. But another thing that is being mentioned here by the Celestial Dragons in the audience is that they're questioning if they are Buccaneers as well. It's like, are they Buccaneers too? And I think that means that they are. Because if Oda just put that out there as like a misdirect or something, it would just confuse the audience who is already confused in the first place with all of this lore and stuff. So it's better to just say that they are Buccaneers because it seems like they are. Because if Kuma is confirmed to be a Buccaneer, Blackbeard has like the same type of body, and this guy right here has the same type of body, right? We talked about it. Huge upper body, skipping leg day forever, like the Mr. Incredible physique. Or what is that? Is that Mr. Incredible? Is that the guy from the Incredible movie, the big high school football coach looking dude? But speaking of this guy, he has a straw hat on. And I don't think it's a coincidence because, the straw hat is kind of like the brand of this manga, right? And it makes me go back to thinking that JOYBOY may have been a Buccaneer as well. And we thought about that because the straw hat at Mary Joie that Emu is holding seems to be pretty freaking big, right? Bigger than what a normal human in this series would wear. So we thought, oh, he's got to be a giant. But as time went on, it was revealed that the Buccaneers were a thing. We thought, oh, maybe he's a Buccaneer too. So maybe he is because, this Buccaneer guy's wearing a straw hat. And either the straw hat comes from JOYBOY or it comes from Davy Jones as well. And it goes into what I was saying about how maybe they're brothers. I don't know. We'll see. But we're coming into the hunting game here. And as I said, it is brutal. There's one particular sequence where this like Charlos looking idiot is like straight up like brutally murdering a family with a baby. And they're like pleading their lives. Please spare our child. And he's just like, and he just... I like that Oda is showing us this. This is straight seinen territory, obviously. Seinen as opposed to shonen, which I guess seinen would be like with the YA of battle manga, right? We're also seeing Garling just brutally murdering people as we knew that he was capable of. And then even Summers here is like killing a child in front of his father, like having him fall onto thorns. And it makes me wonder, like, where is all of this going? Are they really going to get their comeuppance? Because I don't know, do most despicable villains in this series really get their comeuppance, to be honest? I mean, Doflamingo is still alive, and he's done awful things. Like, realistically, the Celestial Dragons should all be publicly executed for their crimes, right? Once their regime is overthrown. But I really don't think Oda is going to do that. He's just going to kind of, I guess, force them to just live normal lives, right? He would think that's a great punishment for them, but what kind of lesson does that teach? And I'm not talking about the kids. Because, teaching lessons to kids in stories like this is always just cookie cutter stuff. And it never really matters anyway because it's not like it betters humanity. I think it would be better to teach people like bad things happen to bad people. So I just hope Oda doesn't decide to go like full-blown Disney at the end of this series with the Celestial Dragons. Like, this chapter just makes you angry, right? And you just want to see them die, right? Speaking of that, Dragon straight up shoots one of the Celestial Dragons with a tranquilizer dart, saving Kuma and Ivankov here, which is awesome. Young dragon, he was him. Older dragons kind of sucks. He's boring, whatever. But maybe when we come back to him in real time, his fire will be reignited because now we're seeing how cool he was in his youth. But I'm assuming this is what led to Dragon leaving the Marines for sure. Because, they will find out that one of the Celestial Dragons was shot by the tranquilizer dart. So, of course, they would kill Dragon on the spot as well as his platoon, I guess. But now we're coming to the really awesome part of the chapter where the Rox pirates show up kind of like heroes here. I mean, they are. Rox is like the real hero of this story, to be honest. I mean, they're there to save Shocky and take the devil fruits and the treasure and everything, but they are indirectly saving all of the slaves here who are getting brutally murdered. And it goes back to what Sengoku said about the God Valley incident. Roger and Garp teamed up to fight Rox to defend the Celestial Dragons. If that actually happens, I wonder if Oda realizes what he is doing there. I mean, I know not all of the readers see this story through my lens, but you really got to wonder, does he think that if he does that, people are still going to like Roger and Garp? It can't be that black and white, right? There has to be something that happens that protects their characters, because we'll just see what happens. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But right after this, we're seeing Dragon successfully save Shanks and Shamrock, as their babies, which he got from their dying mother. This is eventually going to lead to Shanks winding up in the treasure chest and Shamrock winding up with Garling. But we're also seeing the Roger pirates show up, Garp and the Marines showing up, and the God Knights showing up. So all of the factions are here. And I want to talk about the God Knights real quick because this is the first time we're seeing all of them. So we see the Man-Mayor chick with the rifle. We saw her before. We saw this one chick with the navel exposed. We saw her before. We got Summers. And then we see the guy with a bull mask, bull skull mask, whatever. We've seen him before, but now we're seeing two new members. And then we've got this one woman with horns that kind of looks like Killingham, right? This might be Killingham's mom, possibly. She also has a cigar. Is this Crocodile's mom? No. That would be cool though, right? And then we see this, I guess Redon was accurate in saying it looks like a freaking Yeti. I don't know if this is their devil fruit form, or if they're just actually some kind of Yeti creature that's a new race that's being revealed here. I'm going to say that this is probably their devil fruit, mythical Zoan Yeti, because at this point, like we've established, all of the top tiers are going to have mythical Zoan devil fruits. But the chapter ends with Garp throwing one of his cannonballs right into ground zero and blowing everyone apart. Well, pirates at least. Obviously he's not hurting civilians. Definitely not hurting the Celestial Dragons. And we see Rox and Roger reacting to it. So I guess this is the beginning of the all-out battle between Garp, Rox, Roger, and Garling and their crews. I talked about this before as well. How much of this are we actually going to see? To be honest, I really want to get your hopes up, guys. I mean, maybe in the anime we'll see a lot of it, but that's going to be in 3 years from now, 2-3 years. But in the manga, in 2 weeks from now, we're probably just going to see a bunch of clashes, a bunch of lightning. I hope that we get to see more than that, but I just don't see it happening. We will see the results of things at least, but the actual fights themselves, probably not so much. But let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments, guys. Cannot wait for the God Valley incident battle. Even though it's probably going to tease us, it's still going to be cool to see that happen regardless. But let me know. And if you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.